1951, Florida. A woman named Mary Reeser was found reduced to ash in her armchair. Only her left foot and part of her spine remained intact. Even stranger, her surroundings were barely touched by fire. 3 decades later, in Wales, Henry Thomas was discovered the same way. His body almost completely destroyed, yet the chair he sat on survived. Cases like these have baffled investigators for centuries. People seemingly bursting into flames without warning. But why does it happen? The mystery of SHC, the term spontaneous human combustion, describes exactly this: people apparently igniting without an external flame. Reports stretch back to the 1600s, and although rare, they all share eerie similarities. The victim reduced to ash, the fire contained, and often no obvious cause. What researchers have found? At first glance, the idea seems impossible. The human body is mostly water. How could it burn so completely while the room stays intact? The key lies in something called the wick effect. When clothing catches fire, it behaves like the wick of a candle. Heat melts body fat, which then soaks into the fabric. The body becomes its own fuel source, burning slowly from the inside out. This process explains why many victims are found reduced to ash while their surroundings remain relatively untouched. So if the wick effect makes sense, another question arises. Does the body ignite on its own, or does it always need a spark? Could it really happen without a flame? Supporters of SHC point to cases with no obvious ignition source. No cigarettes, no fireplaces, nothing. Over the years, theories have included methane gas buildup in the intestines, static electricity, even mysterious chemical reactions at the cellular level. But none of these ideas hold up under serious scientific testing. In most cases, investigators eventually found possible ignition sources: a dropped cigarette, a candle, or contact with a fire nearby. The victims, often elderly or impaired, couldn't react quickly enough once their clothes began to smolder. Why the mystery persists? The horror of SHC lies in its imagery. Bodies reduced to ash in their own homes, while newspapers, curtains, and furniture stand almost untouched. Even if the science points to ordinary fire behavior, the pattern is so disturbing, it feels supernatural. And because not every case is fully explained, the legend continues. What does SHC teach us? So what can we learn from spontaneous human combustion? First, that nature often hides strange mechanisms in plain sight. What once looked like an unsolvable mystery turned out to be explained by the physics of fire and the chemistry of the human body. Second, it reminds us how easily mystery thrives when science is incomplete. For centuries, SHC lived on in folklore, novels, and sensational headlines. Only when researchers tested real-world scenarios did answers begin to appear. And finally, it shows us something about ourselves. Humans are drawn to stories of the unexplained. Even when logic provides solutions, the image of a person consumed by fire in an otherwise untouched room still unsettles us. SHC teaches us that science and myth are often intertwined, and separating the two is what pushes knowledge forward. Closing. So, is spontaneous human combustion real, or just misunderstood accidents? The evidence suggests the wick effect, plus an ignition source, explains most cases, yet the unsettling mystery endures. Do you think it's science, or something stranger? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring mysteries like this, don't forget to subscribe.